morning, and I am inviting Jessie, our beloved Jessie, our talented, amazing Jessie, to kick us off this morning with some music.
Oh my goodness, what affirmations, thank you. All right, waking up, letting go, enjoying the flow of your soul, you know. Sometimes it feels like my heart is stuck in a revolving door, and it can get me down so much that I don't even want to mess with it anymore. Or that too familiar feeling, oh, I know it well, but I don't let it get too far. No, I'm too good at staying cool now. Yes, I am learning the art, and I'm getting good at letting go, yeah. I'm getting good at giving it over, cause I know it ain't in my hands. And I'm getting good at letting go, yeah. I'm getting good at giving it over, cause I know, though I do not understand, my soul's always got something better planned. And when the shadow comes creeping in like a thief from my past, I turn on the light by remembering only my soul knows my path. And I'm getting good at letting go, yeah. Getting good at giving it over, cause I know it ain't in my hands. So I'm getting good at letting go, yeah. Getting good at giving it over, cause I know, though I do not understand, my soul is always got something better planned. And I am unburdened, yes, I am free when I believe. Hey, if I just keep trusting, if I keep the faith, I know I'll see. When I let go, I know when I let go, I know that my soul's always God. Yes, my soul's always God. Oh, my soul's always got something better planned. Yeah, something better is coming along. So let's sit back, relax, and hear the song of your heart, of your soul, of that love that never goes away. And I'm letting go.
What a great way to start us off. Woohoo! Thank you, Jessie. Oh, that was very inspirational and upbeat. So I would like to invite our wonderful, talented Jean Pirkl to do our opening prayer for us this morning.
Welcome. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for that awesome song, Jessie. That was great. I just feel like jumping up and moving, actually. But that's not the time for that right at this moment. What we're going to do together, if I can ask if you close your eyes and join me in consciousness as we recognize that one power, that one presence, that one spiritual magnificence that dwells within, that sparks that inner light that we all have. And what we're going to discuss today is how to emanate, how to let that light shine more brightly. And what I like to think about that as is that inner lantern that we have, that we stoke that love, that joy, that authenticity that allows us to express as the one that we're constantly connected to. And I honor each and every one of us that are here today, and I'm so grateful for this time together. And I'm looking so forward to the message that Reverend Michelle is going to share with us. And if you join me in saying, and so it is. All right. Well, the topic today was kind of like light camera action, and it made me think of, for some reason, and I can't really say why, but there was this author, he's not alive anymore. His name's Leo Buscaglia, and he wrote a lot of books that I still turn to from time to time. He was most noted for teaching a class, Love 101. I think he taught at UC Berkeley. But this one act that I remember he did, and I thought he was incredibly, at the time, I thought he was kind of nutty bags for doing it. But when I thought about it afterwards, I said how brilliant it was for him to do this. So he was going to have a bunch of students come to his home. And what he did in prep for that is he went out to his front yard and gathered all the fall leaves, and he brought them in the house. And well, that's kind of different, but sometimes it takes that act of being, I mean, however we're inspired to be different and to be courageous to do those things that we're called to do. And the beauty of what he did was, in my opinion, was that he allowed other people, gave him permission. It was like, we don't have to be automatons. We're not automatons. That just doesn't work. So if we can kind of just give ourselves permission, it doesn't always take that we have to have permission from other people, but it's that drawing upon that inner courage and that inner knowing that it's what we're here to do, is just to express our light and our love and our joy of being connected with the one. So that's that's what I got this morning. Michelle's got a slide that she's posted in for us here. So we're going to read this month's, let's see, we've got, I am grateful that every day is a fresh new start. Today I release any thoughts of blame or judgments against myself or others. I express the good of God. I live in peace, ease, and grace, and the laughter of love. And so it is. It's beautiful. I think you're
Wow.
muted. Yeah, there you go.
I totally love that story, Jean. I hadn't heard that before, but wow, talk about giving somebody permission to think outside the box and to act outside the box. What a great story. Thank you for sharing that. I loved it. And that's really what I'm talking about today, is being able to step outside of what we think we should, all our shoulda, coulda, woulda. Anyway, Jessie, woohoo!
Hello, I'm back.
Yes, you are.
Back to get us in a place of receptivity. We're going to celebrate the soothing nature of letting our light shine. So everybody inhale with me and exhale. And just inhale a sense of lightness. And once you learn the words, feel free to sing along. Here we go. Fill me with light. 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 holy light. Holy light, fill my life. Holy light, holy light, invite it in completely. Fill my life. Oh, holy light, fill my life. Fill me with light. 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 Fill me with light.
Ooh, well, I am all filled up. Whew, that's powerful. Thank you for that, Jesse. I am filled with light. Oh, this will take a minute. So, good morning again. Welcome to One Heart, One Mind, Center for Spiritual Living. On this beautiful Sunday morning, it's overcast here, but it's still beautiful. And whether you're here in real time on the Zoom call, or whether you're watching the Facebook live stream or watching the replay, I don't care. I'm so glad you're connecting with us. I'm so glad that we're making the connection, however that works for you. This month we've been exploring how pairs of opposites that exist in the physical world all around us, how they coexist with and support each other. Opposites like young, old, hot, cold. What else? Lack and abundance, disease, vitality. All of those kinds of apparent opposites. Specifically, we've been looking at light and dark, or shadows in our lives. This May's theme was light and the shadows. So we've been focusing on that, and how both light and darkness have their own traits and their own characteristics. They operate independently of each other, but they work in unison as complements to each other. To embrace light as good and darkness as bad kind of misses the way in which they complement each other, and how we can use them in our life as guideposts. If we avoid the shadow experiences of our lives, we miss the guidance that they can give us. The shadows point us back to the ever-present divine light that's within us. The shadows remind us to connect with our own light, to build a relationship with it, and to allow that light of God to shine ever more brightly through us and out into the world, which is really what we're talking about today. How to reflect the light of God into all of our everyday human experiences. I mean, what good is divinity without living it in our human lives and our human experiences? So as I was preparing today's talk, like Jean was saying, sometimes things just pop into your head as you're putting something together. I thought of that line from Shakespeare's play, As You Like It. It goes, let's see, I had it somewhere anyway. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. And I don't know, there's something about that line that made me question whether our parts are written for us, or do we write them ourselves? I've always had this kind of debate going on in my head about whether or not things in life are predetermined or destined or not. Is everything actually already written in the stars? Or are we completely at choice about what we create in our lives? You know, I was raised in a spiritual tradition that taught that God had a plan for my life. And hearing that always made me feel kind of inadequate and powerless. You know, you mean that no matter what I think or feel or do, I'm just going to get what I'm going to get? Well, that's depressing, you know? And that was probably one of the main aspects of New Thought that really spoke to me the loudest, that I'm empowered to create a life of love and peace and joy simply by what I think and how I feel and the perspective from which I view my life. So is there anything that is consistent in life then? You know, I would say, and I know Science of Mind says that life consistency is the divine light that's within us and all around us, that is continually creating, always creating using the law, you know, and that law works through our thoughts and our feelings and our perspectives. In our Tuesday evening discussion group, which really is fun, I gotta tell you, we have a lot of fun in that group. We're reading a book called Life Loves You by a man named Robert Holden and Louise Hay. And in last week's reading, Louise Hay said something that really helped me come to terms with that idea that God has a plan for your life, you know, God's plan for our life. And she said this, she said, well, life loves you isn't about getting your own way. It's about getting out of your way. And then she went on to say, life has a plan for each of us. And this plan is for our highest good and for the greatest good of everyone. Okay, now she had me. It's a universal plan. She really had me now. That's bigger than any ego gratification. It has our highest interests at heart. All we can ever do is let love lead the way. Yeah, now there's a plan I can get behind. That life always moves towards a greater expression of love, the highest good for all. And we, as a point of expression for the light of God, we can shine our love light into the darkest corners of the world. Knowing who we are is where we always begin. And to know that we are that light of the world that wants to shine out. We are those points of expression, those points of light. And also, as I was preparing today's talk, I ran across a book. I'm always going through my library looking for stuff. I ran across something in a book called Lighten Up, New Thought on the Parables of Jesus. And it's a great book about all the different parables that Jesus wrote. I forgot to write down the author. I can't remember who it was. But anyway, the author wrote that the kingdom of heaven was Jesus's favorite topic. That apparently, he said, that there are 14 parables in the Bible that refer to the kingdom of heaven. Jesus was constantly telling his followers, the kingdom of heaven is like, or the kingdom of heaven is like this or that. And I think it's his favorite topic for a reason. I think it's because he was trying to teach his followers how to change their thinking. Not what to think, that it isn't about what we think, but teaching them how to think. You know, that heaven wasn't some distant place, some distant reality, but an internal reality. He said the kingdom of heaven is within. The kingdom of heaven is all about consciousness, and his teachings were meant to shine new light on what's possible in the world. And when we use our spiritual sight, our insight, if you will, to see everything in the world of form, to see all those seeming opposites from a consciousness of heaven, then we can use everything. We can use everything we see, all the seeming opposites, light, dark, the shadows, to move towards a greater expression of our divine light, of God's divine light. You know, to see that everything is held within this circumference of the circle of God's light and love and life. You know, and while I believe it's vitally important that we get to know ourselves as a part of this larger life, you know, in our oneness with the mind of God, with the consciousness of God, we each do seem to have our own gifts to bring to the party. You know, and that's where today's talk really takes off. The title, as Jean was saying, is Lights, Camera, Action. You know, once we know who we are, once we see everything through a consciousness of oneness, through the kingdom of heaven, the lens of the kingdom of heaven, then we begin to discover that this one life wants to express through us individually. You know, we read a couple of books by Eric Butterworth, and I love what he had to say about this. He said that there are no duplicates in creation. Every snowflake, every blade of grass, every grain of sand has a unique design. In the same way, there has never been anyone, nor will there ever be anyone just like you. That you're a unique expression of the creative energy of the universal force, focused eternally as you, because we're eternal beings. You know, and I just was thinking how true this is. You know, I'm one of 7 kids. We are all so different. You know, I have 3 kids. Each one was born with their own unique gift. Spectacular and special, but unique. And I can tell you that I was not born to be an accountant. Not that there's anything wrong with being an accountant. On the contrary, I'm a little envious of their abilities, but I do not have a natural gift for crunching numbers. But fortunately for us, just like snowflakes, there are no 2 humans alike, and there are a lot of people who are great at being accountants and who love doing it. So finding what our unique gift is, finding what we're called to do and to give to the world is something that we have to discover on our own. And I suppose we could think of these gifts that seem to be kind of written on our heart before we were born as our destiny. I suppose if you want to look at destiny, if you want to think of destiny in that way, as this thing that we've come to reveal the divinity of God in the world of form, you know, to awaken that kind of limitless potential that we're born with. It's our destiny to live in tune with that inner calling. I really believe that's true. And to listen to our own guidance, you know, so we can follow our own path and not somebody else's. And so we can learn to trust our own inner voice. You know, I truly believe that there's a unique gift that each of us was born with, you know, and whether it's really obvious to you or not, it is there. And, you know, it's been my experience that when we follow that inner voice, things tend to line up in service to that gift, to whatever it is that we've come here to do, or whatever is our calling, whatever's sitting on our heart, if you want to put it that way. You know, I read a story about, I love this story. I read a story about a woman named Martha Berry, and she lived in the early 1900s. And Berry lived in the South. She lived in rural Georgia. And she saw that many of the rural children who lived around here had no access to any kind of an education. And so she set about to do something about that. She felt called to do it. It was her something, her dream, her gift to give to the world. And she was determined to make sure these rural children had the opportunity to get an education. But here was the thing. She had no books. She had no building. She had no way to bring her dream, her gift, into reality, except that passion and that willingness to do whatever it took. So Berry's first inclination was to share her dream with someone who she thought might be able to help. And the person she chose was, at the time, one of the most powerful people in the world. She went to Henry Ford, the great industrialist. And she shared with him this beautiful and compassionate dream that she had. And the story goes that after hearing Berry's dream, Ford reached into his pocket and took out a dime, and he put it in Berry's hand, and he said nothing, and he turned around and walked away. Now, I don't know about you, but my response may not have been all that terribly ministerial. That wasn't what Berry did. It was inspiring to her. So Berry immediately put that dime to work. And she kind of seized the opportunity, because this is the opportunity that came to her. And she went out and she bought seed with the dime. And of course, you know, it was a long time ago. You'd probably buy a lot of seed back then. And then she had her children that she was trying to educate. They all planted the seed. And they cultivated the seed, and then they harvested the seed, and then they took their harvest and the money that they got from their harvest, and they bought more seed, and they planted that seed, and they harvested, and they bought more seed and harvested, and they did that for about 4 seasons. And then they had enough money to build their first kind of really small, little, humble one-room schoolhouse. And it was Barry's focus and her determination and her power, her passion, that powerful passion that she had that got them there. You know, that she had to do this. This is what was in her that she had to do. And that kept her going. And so with that accomplishment under her belt, Mary went back to Henry Ford and she said, see what your dime has done. And the story goes, I couldn't verify this as fact. The story goes that Henry Ford was so touched by what Barry had done with his dime that he visited her school and he gave Martha Barry $1 million to continue her work. Now that was a long time ago. $1 million probably be more like 25 million today. But the point is that Barry's story illustrates the idea that when we have something within us to give, when we listen unwaveringly to what we're called to do, that everything lines up to support our gift. Barry had to deal with a lot, and so do we sometimes. But you know, all the shadow experiences that come up as we move forward toward whatever it is we're called to do, they keep us focused on the dream. They keep us focused on the vision. Sometimes we get so focused on all the external things that we forget to take the time to listen to that small, inner, clear voice that's always there speaking to us. You know, I found that to be true in my own calling about my ministry and about our spiritual community, about One Heart, One Mind. You know, as you can see, our community's kind of grown a lot smaller over the last few years through COVID and then online, blah, blah, blah. But there's something in me that will not let this gift go. It will not let this passion that I have for ministry and for our community go. I believe we matter and that we make a difference in the world. No matter how small we are, we're a powerful presence, and I am totally committed to that. It's in me, and I hope it's in you. You know, in the book of Romans in the New Testament, it says that each of us has a different gift. That and I think it says something like, if your gift is preaching, then you should preach. If it's serving, then you should concentrate on service. If it's teaching, then you should teach. We give all we have. And the question for each of us is, are we following our heart's desire? Because that's what I've noticed. Ministry is laid on my heart. Whatever your gift is laid on your heart. Jesse's gift is definitely music and she's doing it. You know, whatever it is laid on our heart. And are we following our own destiny is a question we need to ask. Not our mothers or our fathers or our significant others or, you know, the cultures or our friends. Is our heart's desire moving us forward? Because that is a divine appointment. I really believe that's true. And that can only be determined by us. What's our heart desire? And it doesn't matter what our age is or our circumstance. We all have something unique to share. Just as, you know, life didn't make two Shakespeares or two Einsteins or two Martha Barrys. It didn't make two of us. And what we have to give is uniquely ours. And giving our unique gift is exactly what Louise Hay was talking about when she was talking about God's plan as a universal. It's a universal plan, bigger than any ego gratification. And our gift is a part of God's universal plan. It is the highest and the greatest good for everyone. If we're called to do it and we have this passion for it, it feeds the world. You know, it is possible. And many of us have, I include myself here, gone through life playing various roles that aren't really ours to play, you know, but we play them so well that we begin to think that maybe they really are ours. You know the roles I'm talking about, like the victim, the martyr, the misfit, the impoverished, the sufferer, the rescuer, the savior, the misunderstood, the overworked, boy, I've played that one out, the disadvantaged, the hippie, the yuppie, dopey, sneezy, grumpy, whatever it is. Probably all of us have acted one of these roles out sometime or another in our lives. And the way we learn from these, let's call them our shadow roles, is to let them guide us, to course correct, to use them as an opportunity to hear what the gift of our heart truly is. And let's be clear, our gifts, our roles may change, and our gifts may become maybe a little bit more sophisticated or refined, but they never go away. And when we sincerely set an intention to express our gift, whatever it may be, there's no barriers. Nothing can stand in the way. Not our age, money, nothing. Just like Martha Berry's gift. It came to fruition because she knew it was hers to do. She set that intention. The law said yes. Science of Mind taught me that I can, at any point, right now, in this now moment, write a new script for my life. When I get to the point of feeling stale or uninspired, I can go within and ask for guidance. I can say, where shall I shine my light now? What direction shall I go to give my gift? And something always comes up for me. It points me in the right direction when I sincerely ask and when I sincerely listen with an open heart. Ernest Holmes, our founder, said that human beings alone are able to consciously work out their own destiny and to determine what manner they want to live their lives. I believe that's true. I can work it out. Because I'm not alone. There is a light within me that wants to shine through me and shine through you. So no matter how we're living right now, we can always start again. We can always choose to course correct. We get to determine the qualities of life, the qualities of spirit that we want to dance with starting today. So how will we show up in the fullness of our gifts, in the fullness of grace? How are we going to do that? How are you going to do that? It's not about having everything we want, although that is totally possible, and there's certainly nothing wrong with that. But some people think that our destiny has to do with our careers or our relationships. I should be a plumber or a cardiologist or a teacher or some other something. But our gift is internal. A career, a relationship, a pastime, these are vehicles through which we share our gift. But our gift is what we want to give, what we have passion for. My ex-husband, Randy, he loved music and he loved playing the guitar, but he was not a natural born musician. But he had a passion and a gift for giving the gift of music. And so he worked hard. He was forever practicing, running scales up and down his guitar for years of our marriage. I can still hear it. And he developed his skill because he had a passion and a gift for giving the gift of music. And now he's one of the most talented guitar players I've ever heard. That was his gift. That is his gift. Our destiny is to reveal our divinity in and through all of our activities in our humanness, to realize our identity as divine beings, as children of God, and then to externalize these spiritual qualities, to express our talents in whatever way is good for us and to share them. The career or the activities are only how we express our gift. Our destinies, our calling, our sense of ourselves in the world. It's the gift we're born with and the gift that we're called to continue to give over and over again to the world. And like I said, it changes, it gets refined, it might get a little more complicated or even more simple. We have choice in everything we do. Are we willing to show up? Are we willing to take center stage, as our title says, and add our light to this grand production of life? If so, we have to take responsibility and accountability for our own role. We have to prepare ourselves and we have to be ready to take that center stage and play it full out. Don't keep anything in. What was it Wayne Dyer used to always say? Don't die with your music still in you. It's the same thing. It's up to us to really look at what we want to bring and to give that quality that is within us into our gift, into our offering. Is this the best I have to offer? Am I holding back? And these questions can help us not only engage and participate in life, but also to shine in any circumstance and whatever circumstance comes up. So here's my invitation to you this week. I invite you to look for what gift is yours to bring to life. I'm sure you've probably already thought about this. You probably already know. And it doesn't even have to be grandiose, this big thing. Maybe it's just, what can I bring to this moment? What can I bring to this moment that is missing in this situation right now? What gift can I offer right here and right now? So let's just move into prayer behind that. Taking in a deep breath. Centering in this all that is, this divine light, love, life of the divine, in which everything's encircled, encompassed, encased, embraced in love. And we are all one with it. We are all in it. And can you imagine the delight of this presence, that it has the opportunity to express itself in and through all of these beautiful expressions of light and love in this world, in this universe. Oh my gosh, I can't even fathom. So I speak my word for and about each and every person that's on this call, and each and every person that is not, or that is living on planet Earth or anywhere else in the universe, that there's a shift. There's an opening and allowing a new way of knowing the fullness of God that is moving through us right now, making its way into this universal plan of good. Oh, I'm just so grateful to be a part of this life, to be a part of this community, to be a part of this world, to be a part of the juiciness of the love of the divine moving in and through and as all things. So for that, I just say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Life is eternal. We are eternally giving, receiving, being the light of the divine. Thank you, God, for this. I relax in knowing all is well. Release my prayer, and together we say, and so it is. And so it is. Oh, that was fun. I had a good time with that. All right, well, this is our time for sacred giving, and Relaine was going to do that, but Relaine had a little incident yesterday. Her tree caught on fire with lightning, so they had no power. All is well. I've spoken with her this morning. But so blessings to Jean for stepping up and agreeing to play Relaine's part. Thanks, Jean.
Yeah, sure. No. So as Michelle said, now is our time for conscious giving. And as we all know, there's a couple of ways about that we can do that. And we actually, I'm happy to say that we have a brand new PO box. So what we ended up doing was we moved the PO box from San Marcos to Escondido. So it's a lot closer for Michelle to pick up the any checks that you opt to send there.
We should probably change that to, sorry, I forgot to change that. It should be Michelle Ingalls instead of Jim Massipus on there. I'll fix it. Yeah,
I think that the slide that I sent you would probably, it shows.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. You know what? I didn't get it up.
That's okay. That's all right.
You happen to have it on your computer? Maybe you can put it up.
I don't.
Okay, no worries. We'll get it up by next week, folks. Sorry.
Yeah. But anyway, that's those are our two options, Venmo or by check. And so
I've got the affirmation here.
Great. I'm going to put that in the chat actually, so you'll have it really quick. Sorry, you bear with me for 1 second.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm so
all right. If you would like to join me in reading the sacred giving affirmation, everything flows from the nature of God's good. We receive from this flow, we give from this flow, and we give in gratitude and in love. We have faith in the infinite giving nature of spirit. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And we'll come back to you. We're going to go to Yvonne for the announcements, and then we'll come back to you for the benediction, Jean. Thank you. Yvonne.
There we go. Okay, Monday evening prayer group. We really would love it if everyone would join us there on Zoom, and we'll silently pray for one heart and one heart, one mind center, and anything else that you want to do prayer for. And then Tuesday evening spiritual learning. It is Tuesday evening, although I think it says Wednesday.
You know what? It says
date.
Tuesday, but the date was the 31st, and it's
right.
really
Right. So, but it is Tuesday, and it's from 6 to 7. We'll be discussing chapter 4 of Life Loves You, written by Louise Hay and Robert Holden. And the chapter explores listening for that inner guidance. It really fits with, or Michelle's talk today really fits with what we're dealing with in this chapter. And the reading is available online, but you don't have to have read the stuff if you don't want to, because we get really into the whole thing. It's really fun. And so you find out what it's all about just from us. And then I just want to remind everybody about unexpected income. If you don't expect it, you're not going to get it. If you get it, you got to get it to Michelle. And then one last thing, be sure and try to visit Reverend Michelle's Facebook page. It's called Spiritual Recovery, a Journey of Positive Change. And it has videos and posts from those that are on a journey of recovery.
And I promised myself I would post a new video tomorrow, so.
Perfect. Perfect. This is the perfect time to do it. And that's everything.
Thank you so much, Yvonne. Really appreciate it. You're great at the announcements. All right, Jean, would you like to pray us out, and then we'll have Jesse follow up with our closing song.
Indeed. Yeah. So let's join together and lower our gaze or closing our eyes. And I'm so incredibly thankful for this message from Rev Michelle and the lovely music from, as always, from Jesse Powers, and for each and every one of you, and how you each individually shine your unique brightness into the world. And as we march forward into the week, that we continue to do that, and we dust off any of those false beliefs that we might have that are kind of harnessing our inner lantern. So as we close our service today, know that each and every one here, and everyone period, is blessed and a blessing. And so it is.
So it is.
Oh, and so it is. Thank you so much, Jean. I really appreciate it. That was beautiful. All right, Jesse.
Okay, this is becoming my favorite closer ever.
Woohoo!
I'm closing every service with this now. You guys know this. The most celebratory song. I wake up early and I see the sun. I don't know how it does it every day. It rises up and then it falls again. Born only to die away. I look in the mirror and I see myself. I don't know how I do it every day. Standing on this big blue rock, not knowing what I'm doing here. Still believing there's a reason, keep on keeping on my way. Each time I open my eyes, that's when I get to decide how I am gonna show up in this life. Lights, camera, action, go! Everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Everybody get up. Oh, 'cause it's a beautiful day. So get up, get up, get up, and be grateful. Say, I'm up, I'm up, I'm up, and I'm thankful. Get up, get up, get up, and be grateful. Say, I'm up, and I'm ready to play. Look at the clock, it's running day and night. Got no control in those hands. A little soldier just marching through time. I'm so glad I am not a clock, I am alive, and I can choose to dance each time I open my eyes. Woo! That's when I get to decide how I am gonna show up and show out in this life. Huh, everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Oh,
Thank you for being alive, and thank you for that. That was amazing. Woo! Thank you. Well, what a fabulous service. I'm so glad everybody was here today, or whomever's listening to this later. I'm glad you're listening. Hey, Julia, I was so glad to see you today, by the way.
Hey, Michelle.